sued for using this discretionary bidding under LGC 2602, so we get sued.
A governmental body may, but does not have to allow public to make comments about items not on the agenda. You misspoke. I did not say that. Go back over the tape and see what I said.
Welcome back to another Shark Show. Today's segment is going to be Shark Tank. Every now and again, we have an elected official that steps out of bounds and forgets about the citizens and the rights of the citizens.
Yeah, and they find themselves in the Shark Tank.
That's right. And today's Shark Tank is going to be Commissioner Ron Cotton, Precinct 2 of Hood County.
Yeah, and this one's a long time coming, isn't it?
I think so. I think, we've been building up a lot of information on Ron Cotton, and most of it is not good. Let's start off with one of the many episodes we have on Ron Cotton, and it's about the may. He may let the public speak when it came to the agenda item of the citizen speaking once a month on non-agenda items.
Yeah, he was combating what someone that took the podium was saying, and he said, well, hey, we don't have to do this, but we're going to do it anyways. Like, guy, how gracious of you to, reluctantly allow us to exert our First Amendment rights.
That's right, and he's going to know. He's going to let them know.
Yeah, this is by his good graces that they're allowing this to pass.
In that it says, a governmental body may, but does not have to allow public to make comments about items not on the agenda.
Yeah, and thank you once again, gracious Commissioner Cotton, for allowing the citizens to do this.
Yeah.
And then we turn right around and find Commissioner Cotton, who complains about social media and half-truths, and he sits up there and out, sorry about this, Ron, but you lied.
You misspoke. I did not say that. Go back and look at the tape and see what I said. Quit doing that. You put this stuff out on social media, twist the words. You better go back and look and see exactly what I said. I said, if I was afraid of being sued up here for doing action, I probably wouldn't get anything done. So get it right. I did not say go ahead and sue. So anyway, that's it. I don't want a response.
Now, I'm not going to say it's a mistruth or half-spoken. You lied to the citizens about saying that so what if we get sued?
If you're afraid of a lawsuit, we never get anything done. So if we get sued for using this discretionary bidding under LGC 2602, so we get sued. If we didn't do anything because we're afraid of getting sued, we'd never get anything done. So,
Courtney, you want to give the background on that?
Yeah, sure. So this was at the Commissioner's Court when they were discussing the purchase of the RV, the $200,000 16-year-old RV, and using the CARES Act money for it. Ron's logic was that they've done this before with a fire truck. However, that logic doesn't really add up because fire truck you got to have. This RV, not necessarily. And CARES Act money, it's a little gray area. And Commissioner Eagle and the county attorney, Matt Mills, both gave their opinion about some potential legality issues with this purchase. And that's when he brought up, well, if we get sued, we get sued. And
right. It's that government code. It's the government code. You can buy that fire engine right away on that emergency purchase without putting it out for bid. And yet they're going to use the same one for an RV that they just happen to find, but they're running in a time crunch. It's not an emergency type vehicle, but all of a sudden they're going to use it, but he doesn't care if the county gets sued over $200,000.
One thing I want to address on here, and it's to Commissioner Cotton, because I know when the other gentleman was talking, and you said just sue us, or let them sue us. And you did say that. It wasn't in the citizens' remarks. It was done when we were talking about purchasing the RV. And I believe Commissioner Eagle brought up a law or whatever prohibiting purchasing that large of a purchase without going through some open bidding and stuff. And that we could be sued, and you said, let them sue us. I find that, I sit out there and I thought about that, and I thought that's coming from a member of a court, that you would actually say, let them sue us.
Yeah, and it's funny because not only has a complaint been sent to Hood County DA Ryan Sinclair, which I really hope he's taken a serious look at that, but it's also been sent down to the Attorney General and the Texas Comptroller as well.
So we'll see what happens with that, and we'll keep you updated and informed. And sometimes that takes a while, so we might find that on another show. And it keeps coming. Here's another one, Nate. The blank check. Remember the $1.7 million?
Yeah, Becky asked him to put that on the agenda, and being the weak leader that he is and allows himself to be led around by the nose, he put it on the agenda and just, made the motion. Boom, hey, let's write a $1.7 million blank check for a vaccine hub that, there are pros and cons to, but he, unlike most other agenda items, this one was not some specific.
Okay, there's one other item to discuss and take appropriate action regarding utilizing CARES revenue to support all expenditure regarding the COVID vaccine.
I'll make that motion.
Right, and the first question I have as a citizen watching this is any and all. What is any and all? This is literally just you have access to all this money, feel free to spend it how you feel fit. And it's literally, like you said, a blank check. And then when Commissioner Eagle brought up some of these points, he's like, wait a minute, why is this on the agenda?
If we did not pass this number 2, would it stop you from doing anything to do it now?
No, sir.
Well, then why do it's kind of superfluous that we're doing it?
Yeah, then he backtracks
Yeah.
and says, well, why is this even on here? Well, Ron, do your homework, buddy. Do your homework,
One of the things that guys on the court need to practice, at least 2, maybe 3 of them, is getting back to basics. Know what it is that you're putting on the agenda, know what it is that you're motioning for, and know how much it's going to cost. If you don't know how a system works, don't vote on it. If you don't know how much something's going to cost, don't vote on it. Do your homework. We see this time and time again.
Do your job.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if this was the private sector, I think we'd have 2 Rons out of business.
Yes.
Yeah,
They've been run off.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. We have the whole fiasco of the line item agenda that wasn't even on the agenda for the Commissioner's Court.
Yeah, and fortunately for Ron up there, somebody, I've observed enough of him to know when he is given something to read off, and watching what happened up there, somebody, realizing the predicament they were in, not having that line item transfer on the agenda, it looked like he was reading something off a sheet of paper maybe Becky or the judge gave him.
Judge, I'll make a motion I'm going to make a motion to approve the purchase of a used 2005 Pierce Lance Mobile Command Center and corresponding line item transfer, we've already done, from the emergency management budget, and for the court to exempt the purchase from competitive formal bidding under LGC 262.024A, discretionary exemption A2, an item necessary to preserve or protect the public health or safety of the residents of the county.
And then when he made the motion with everything in it, so prior to the whole thing, he was clueless.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's reading this motion that was already typed out from the auditor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all-encompassing motion to make sure he had all his T's crossed, his I's dotted to get everything in there because it wasn't on the agenda in the first place like it should have been.
And how does that make you feel that you have an elected official being led around once again by an appointed official that you didn't even vote for?
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. This exists at every level of government. The bureaucrats will lead these weak elected officials around by the nose.
And if this isn't enough, we have another one that tails into some of the COVID thing in the beginning about a year ago. You remember that 2 weeks flatten the curve type thing.
What
But
does
we're
that
coming
turn
up on the
into?
1 year anniversary of that
1 year
2 weeks.
anniversary. But Dave Eagle put forth a resolution. They're not a law; it's a resolution, and it's all businesses are essential and people are essential.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Commissioner Cotton, he knew about it. He said he didn't read it, but he had to read everything about it because he headed off Dave Eagle at the pass on this motion.
Consider and discuss, quote, all businesses and all people are essential resolution and take appropriate action thereon.
Judge, could I start?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, I'm the one that brought this.
Judge, can I have the floor?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, that was to their credit, Ron and the other Ron, it was a very well orchestrated political maneuver. You know, Ron, I'm sure, talked to the other Ron and said, hey, as soon as I bring this up, I need you to get in there and try to table this. What was really disappointing about that was that I think there were 8 of us that had signed up to speak that day. We got up there and we had something to say about it, but the commissioners behind the dais and the county judge, being as thin-skinned as they are, you know, they can't take criticism even when it's valid. You know, they didn't want to have to take that criticism that day, so they did that little political maneuver.
Yeah, and Ron Cotton was kind of the ringleader, and it went straight to him from the judge. He interrupted basically Dave Eagle's motion and said, point of order, point of order. I haven't read this. I got this such and such a time, and I just haven't read it. Well, he read it enough to talk about it for another 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting that there's other commissioners that don't get stuff with enough time to read it, but that's not okay. It's only okay if, you know, Commissioner Cotton hasn't had time to read it. Well, then we need to make sure we table this.
And you can hear him in the background on the microphone saying, Judge, I have a point of order. Judge, I have a point of order. And, of course, what does the judge do? Anytime there's discussion between Dave Eagle or Ron Cotton or Becky, automatically the judge says, hey, let's have decorum. Becky, go ahead. Or, hey, let's have decorum. Ron, go ahead. It's nothing about Dave Eagle because we have to silence him.
Yeah, always got to take the floor away from it.
So Ron Cotton was doing a good job of trying not only to silence Dave Eagle, but he silenced all the people that came there to speak on that item. And you can even hear them when he makes that motion. They were disgusted and they were fed up.
Or I'd like to table this issue until we can get more information, including...
Hey, order.
Right, they should have been allowed the chance to speak on that agenda item. That is how a commissioner's court should have been ran. The citizens should have been allowed to speak.
Ron Cotton does not like the light of truth being shined upon him. And he hasn't learned over the last few months that the citizens and Blue Shark have been watching. And we're going to continue to do this and shine the light upon these elected officials until they get it right or until they go home. You know, this is the second Shark Tank that we've done. And hopefully we don't have to do another one. It'd be great never even have to do a Shark Tank. But, you know, Ron Cotton threw himself in the Shark Tank.
Absolutely.
This is all Ron Cotton. This is his own words, his own actions, or lack thereof, that got him in the Shark Tank.
Yeah, and go back, watch the videos for yourself. And we have clips in here for you to see. And ask yourself, is this what you want from your commissioner? And if it's not, do something about it.
One of the things that Ron Cotton's going to say when he watches this video, and I'm sure he will, is that we're taking stuff out of context. But we say this a lot. Try to remember to say it every time we shoot. Please go to the Hood County, Texas YouTube page, and you can watch all this stuff for yourself. We don't have time to put a 4-hour commissioner's court in here, but we do have time to show you the relevant clips and help you make up your mind for yourself. And guys, as always, we appreciate the support, whether it's likes or shares, you know, sharing on Facebook, YouTube, email, whatever. One way you can support us is you see these hats like I'm wearing. I got to cover my bald spot. Courtney's rocking the t-shirt today. If you like those, send us a message, you know, whether it's on Facebook or email through the website. And then we've also got these mugs here for sale too.
Thank you all for watching. And Blue Shark is here once again to shine the light on your elected and appointed officials. And we've been saying that since our inception, that we're about truth, accountability, and shining the light. So please go to Commissioner Court, go to City Council, go to the school board meetings, watch for yourself what goes on. And in the meantime, Shark Show and Shark Tank out.